echoey sound check. All right, it is on. All right, back again for another five blank uh, campaign start. So what's going on here is I started my 5 leagues from the Parsecs campaign 2 days ago. I had no idea that there was going to be an expansion release for 5 leagues yesterday. So I need to start a 5 leagues from Borderlands campaign. I did a very, very quick flip through of the book, or I guess swipe through of the book on my tablet, and I didn't really gather too much from that. It was very quick. I was watching my 3 children. So I'm going to go through it again quickly, and then hopefully start the next campaign. I have zero prep work. I lost power for the last, I don't know, 6 hours, right in the middle of when I was going to start prepping for this. But I still wanted to stream today. So here we are. I just got this off the printer. I got my hole punch here. I'm going to actually hole punch it and put it in with the other book while on stream here, and explain why this stream is so late. So let's go ahead and get into it. We've got a Death by Hobby save versus review. It's a quick non-formal review. And then I'm going to get into the boring part where I roll dice and write in a little book for a while. So first, let's go ahead and get rid of these dice and this pencil. And let's get the 5 leagues book, and hope I got enough space in this thing. So we got our 5. Well, first of all, we do have the very nice hardback. So, but because I like this book, I don't like. Okay, so the binding on this doesn't leave the page open very well when I'm trying to do other things. It just doesn't want to. I don't want to bend it too much. I like the book. I want to keep it in nice condition. So, I generally use the printed version I have for when I'm playing. Let's see if we can. I got the stupid boom arm for the thing. Yeah, it's not gonna work very well. Anyways, so I had to sit next to my printer for the last hour, babying it to get this printed out. I refill my cartridges, so I've got spare cartridges that I've already used lying around. And if you refill your own cartridges when you're printing, you eventually are going to lose quality on the actual printer head, and it'll print blurry and what have you. So the printer head I had in there was printing blurry, so I had to go through all my old printer cartridges to try and find one that was going to actually work. And I did eventually, so I was able to print it, but I didn't start printing it out until 9:30, 10. So that's why this is so late. I wanted to do this earlier at 9, but as I said, I'm a bit excited for this, so I wanted to do the stream tonight. Plus, I had a bit of a false start on my quitting of tobacco. So tonight is actually my last night. So I wanted to get this out, so I had, because the next 5 days I'm probably not going to be streaming anything. Unless it's to get my mind off it. And then it'll only be short streams. So I've gone through this process before. So I'd like to get the campaign rolled up and everything I need to create for the campaign before I go through that whole process. Then it's going to be Christmas time, but I'll still probably stream around Christmas time. Alright, we're all punched. Let's get it in the book. Then we can go over a few things. There's a couple new mechanics I had noticed when I was going through it. I'm going to have to go through it again. Let's see if I can move this over. I'm going to have to go through it again on the stream here. That's good. So let's get this all the way to the back. I'll come up with a divider later. How do I get rid of this? There we go. Says I got a viewer, but who knows? Who knows who that is? Oh, I gotta repair that. Okay. Hopefully this will fit. Alright, I'll need a bigger binder if there's another release, but this will do for now. Make sure everything moves okay. Oh, that's nice. Look at that thick. Nice and thick volume for solo wargaming. I like it. Probably some crude jokes to be had there, but moving on. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into it. There's my last page right here. Alright, so we've got The Ancient Land of Dust, written by Ivan Sorensen, the Nordic Weasel. So, I'm going to blast through these pages here. It's got some fluff and what have you. It's similar to the other book. There wasn't too many new things, as in mechanic-wise. Most of it's just additional stuff. There's one cool rule that I'm going to point out once I get to it. Let me just mess with the stream here. Okay. So, let's just go in order. So there are new character races, and there is a new background. So a lot of these character races, all the new character races that are specific to this is kind of like a new land. You're either in the dust or you're not in the dust. So all the new character races that come from this new land, it's suggested you start them. You pick them up in this land. You don't just add a new character from the old land that's from this new land. So for instance, now there are two different types of humans. I don't think you can see this. Oh man, that's blurry. Why is that so blurry? Oh, there we go. Okay, that's better. Slightly better. Still a little bit blurry. Let's bring it down a bit. It's not focusing properly. It's good enough. So there's two types of humans. There's Outlanders, which are humans from the original game. But there's also Dusters, which are humans that live in the dust. There's the Feyblood, that's the same. Dusklings are the same. It's a new type of feral called Dizhar, or Dizar. I don't know how you pronounce any of this stuff. There's also a new Dustling Halfling, And there's a chitter, which is a totally new one. That's like an insect. That's the only one we'll probably look at, is the chitter. I don't want to go through every aspect of this book. But so, you know, the dustling and the duster and the dizar, they're all going to have stuff that's more focused on this new land. But the chitter, let's go ahead and look at the chitter. According to the description, it's a humanoid bug that has 4 limbs for grasping. And so think Thrykeen without all the arms. That's kind of what I'm getting from that. I don't know how I'm going to represent those if I get one. But they're an interesting option. They have they don't use range weapons at all, so they're going to be melee focused. But they do have a cool recovering of wounded status. So if you roll a 6 on your initiative and you assign it to the chitter, he'll recover if he's wounded. So that's pretty cool. That's fairly powerful. Makes up for the lack of ranged attack. So the chitter's new. Let's go over actually real quick, because I usually tend to stick with humans mostly. So let's look over how the duster human is different. So instead of speech, he gets the +1 to wilderness. And he can select the new background. That's about basically it. Otherwise he's the same. So let's go ahead and look at that new background real quick. We've got here, I don't need the dice tray showing just this minute. So it's just called the Wanderer. It's just like all the other ones. You roll your d20 and you get your bonus. None of these things are any different. It's all the same sort of stuff. The exception, I'd say, the training, you get specific. It's kind of like the Mystic. You'll get specific skills when you're training rather than just roll a random skill. That's got a new chart for the followers. That's pretty cool. All right, so new mechanic is exhaustion. You can get exhausted while in the dust. You can't dash, and you're unable to receive skill bonuses for being exhausted. There's ways to recover from it. There's spells you can use to recover from it, and then there's a new town action. Or campaign action, I should say. So that's that. Like I said, I'm not going to get too into this. This isn't a full-on review. Alright, so, and let's real quick. So, characters that are from the sands or from the dust get negatives to their pathwise and wilderness when outside of the dust. And outsiders who are in the dust get the same penalty to those same skills. So there you go. So there's a new type of mystic, essentially. It's called the Serpentine Arts. And it really kind of works almost identical to a previous mystic, except now you can have a mystic and a serpentine mystic, I guess you would call it. What's the actual term? Not seeing it. I don't want to look for it. You have to go through a whole you can't start with it. You have to go through a quest line. You have to make some donations, lose some gold marks. You got to find a temple. It's a whole big process. But once you do it, you can pick one of your characters, and they can now also cast spells. And once you find this temple, you can return. If you lose your serpent caster, you can get another one. So that's that. The way it works is instead of congealed strands, you generate what is called... What is it called? Let's see here. Drift. It's similar to congealed strands, but it generates throughout the round. You start with 0 generally, and you gain drift as the... it'll be a set number. You'll start at 0, you'll gain drift for certain actions, and then using drift as a resource, you can then cast spells, and each spell has a drift cost. But the spells work very much like the Mystic, so you spend your drift casting cost. Actually, it doesn't appear that there's a casting roll. You simply roll this dice, and if you have enough drift, you can cast the spell, and then you deduct that amount of drift. So that's how that works. Spells are all very similar in their function. their actual functionality. I'm not going to go through them. There's another type of, I guess, prestige class, if you will, called a scout. You'll get some bonuses. You'll have to do a few things. You can't start doing those things until campaign turn 4, but once you do, you can gain a few extra bonuses for one of your characters. They're not particularly overpowered, but it's fun to spice things up, so it's good that there's something new. A couple of different region things, so the settlements have a couple of different options here. So the whole theme of this place is, it's like a massive desert, essentially, that probably at one point housed an ancient civilization. So there's ruins all over the desert. A lot of heavy on magic, as you know, the addition of a new caster will show you. Threats are slightly different. You always get the Dust Rises threat, which is the set threat. That's at 7. And then you can get the other 2 threats like you would in the normal campaign. And those are set at 5. Your points of interest for starting are slightly different. You get 2 delves to start, but they're hidden. Otherwise, it's fairly similar. We're going to have to go through a lot of this as I set the game up anyways. Some new camp events. So this is events for camping while you're in the dust. Campaign activities. A couple of new ones. Or not specifically new ones. There is a few new ones, but there's changes some of the existing ones for use in the dust. I don't know off the top of my head. It looks like it's just a little harder to do things like forage for herbs and hunting. That seems to be what it looks like. But anyways, let's see, not so many new items. All the same weapons and stuff. There are some new, like, one-use items and what have you, but I don't think there was a new weapon that you could use. Nothing like that. No great axe or anything like that. So, yeah, new equipment. Some of it's to help out the serpent caster, but other of it's like this one's like a desert survival kit, so when you're in the dust you get bonuses for that. Let's see here. New quests. So when you generate a quest, or when you finish a quest, you get a quest talent. They're specific to the dust. There's a specific dust travel table. There's like a sandstorm mechanic when you're traveling, which can do some fun things. It's got an interesting way to set up terrain. It's more specific, which is kind of nice. It's got some dust-specific terrain features that have their own rules. Where else are we? Some extra encounter rules. So the battle encounters, I don't know what it's called in 5 Leagues, I can't remember. But it's got some ones specific for the dust. It's got a new temple mechanism where every other delve is a temple and they have special powers. And when you roll your initiative while adventuring in a temple, if you end up with triples or more, you look at what triple it is. So, you know, you roll your 6 dice or whatever for initiative, you get four number 5s. Well, you go to the triple 5s and that's what, you know, that effect will happen while you're in the temple. The Dust Rises enemy table, it's about 50% undead. I wouldn't say 50% undead. About a third of it's undead. Then it's got some new desert-themed critters. And some desert-themed sort of raiders or what have you. We won't go through any of those. Like I said, this isn't a full-on review. There's a new enemy weapon, though. There's the dart. Seems very similar to the javelin. If I'm not mistaken, it's not that far off, but... There's that. There's, ooh, this is the cool rule that I liked. This is my favorite part of it so far. Like I said, I haven't really absorbed all of this. But this is an awesome rule that you can actually use for your current 5 league games that aren't set in the dust. So this is the large fight rule. So when you're rolling your number of enemies, let's see if I can get this to focus. There we go. So when you roll your number of enemies, if you roll doubles, you can opt for a large fight, and basically you add a couple, add three additional models, and then you can gain a couple extra missile troops in those models. And then what also will happen is you'll gain the help of what are called allies. So you roll this, you can opt for a large fight. I'll almost certainly use this rule on both my games. And then some folks will come and help you in this larger fight. So you get things like just plain townsfolk, some travelers, guards, local troops. What else we have? Let's get this weird one called Priesthood of the Shadow, and then you got Desert Scouts. So those seem specific to the dust, but you can call them something different, and they'll work just the same. Some new aberrations for the dust. My favorite one is the skeletal drake. So you get a Draco Lich, basically. It doesn't cast magic or anything, but it's neat. You get to put a skeleton dragon on the table. Is always fun. And then, let's see. Looks like there's a new loot table for when you're adventuring in the dust. Some new artifacts or magic items. And that's about it. So, let's go ahead and quickly pull back now. So I don't have a map drawn or anything, and of course my little stand is gonna fight me. I think that's better. Bit blurry. There'll be breaks, like I said. This wasn't all that planned. This is kind of impromptu. I just want to get the stream out and get the campaign started. So I'll be taking breaks here and there. But that's it for that part. So anyways, let's go ahead and see. So for actual campaign generation, for starting a new game, I'll use this character origins table for some new characters. Let's see. Don't need any of this stuff just yet. I'll go through this. You can't start with the Serpentine arts, and you can't start with the Scouts, so I don't got to worry about those. Like I said, I'll read this book thoroughly, so I can integrate it seamlessly in my next campaign I'll be doing here. We'll use this setting up the region. And that's about all. And then the threats. So those are the 3 sections I'm going to have to look through while we set up the new campaign. Otherwise, it's going to follow the same rules. Okay, so let's go ahead and get a notebook here. I got to break out a fresh notebook. Okay, nice new notebook. And so for this story, it's almost certainly, so my last 5 league campaign, which is not dead, but I'd like to get back to it. I put a lot of work into it. We've got the my old kingdom of Gildis, which was bordering, which is convenient because I started this one 6 months ago. I had no idea there was going to be a desert-themed expansion, but there is a bordering desert, and there was a massive war. The whole point of this last campaign, the whole storyline was several months before I started the campaign, a massive war between the natives of the Severaimai Wastes. Basically tried to invade Gildis. They were thrown back. There's this big mountain range that kind of blocks off this massive desert. So this campaign, this new one, will start basically in this desert, so I can kind of use the same world and I can connect the two. It's probably going to start at the same time frame. The idea behind this war, I think I have a whole journal written down for it. I don't need to go through it, but the whole background, or the reason that they were invaded this land, was there was some sort of evil that kind of pushed them out, and they were looking for new lands to settle. But people of Gildis weren't having it, and they fought back. So it'll be fun to now switch roles and take the point of view of these desert folk that were trying to escape from the Sevrai Mai. So that'll be good. So we can connect the two campaigns at some point. Or if I continue this one and I want to push those characters into this, that'll be good as well. Let's see, how many campaign turns did I get into this one? No, that's all background. Let's see. Oh, I made it to campaign turn 12? Man, I really got to start this one up again. Yeah, I already did 12 campaign turns in this campaign, so that's cool. So anyways, so I gotta basically, I have a good, I at least know the land. It's gonna be the Sevrai Mai Wastes is gonna be the name of this place. That will be the Dusts. But let me go up here. So first page, I gotta set the book up. This is for, usually I come in and I pre-fill out everything, but did not have time for that today. The power outage set me back. Alright, so this page will be the generation logs. And I'm not going to use any of the difficulty toggles. I don't really want to. This game is fairly difficult without them, so go ahead and move some stuff out of my way. Go ahead and start this whole boring process. Anybody who's watching, this is basically the time to stop watching. You're just gonna see me roll some dice and write some notes and stuff. And as I said with the 5 parsecs game, I don't know actually if I did. I intend to. I'm recording these videos, so I'll edit them down at a later point, so I can basically upload them to YouTube in half-hour to 45-minute chunks of a battle report, and then maybe a follow-up video or a beforehand video of maybe some of the lore, some of the geez, I can't think right now. Some of the fluff, if you will, of the campaign. So anyways, let's just go ahead and start this up. It's been a long day, if you can't tell. Got the difficulty, what do I call it, toggles? Yeah, so we're not going to use any, but toggles. None. And challenge rating is going to be a 0. And there's also a chance my power is just going to cut out on me. And if that happens, that'll be sad, but 0 is what it is. Somebody just popped in. You missed the review. If that's why you came, you missed it. But we're going to go over some of that stuff as I create this campaign. Alright, so we got Warband. Generation log. Alright, so go ahead and start with first hero. Alright, so I need to actually make some room to set up my laptop. Let's just put it on the floor. Move the book out of the way. can grab the dice camera. Doesn't want to focus. Good enough. Go over a little. Okay. Lost that person quick. Pencil. Side table. And dice rolling. Nope. We're going to actually take that short break I've been talking about that I'll be taking several times throughout this process. Hopefully I can get this, hopefully I can get this stream done before 2 o'clock's bedtime tonight. So let's go ahead and take a short break now. And I will come back and eat some hot coffee. I will be right back. Alright. Sorry about that. That should keep me good for about an hour. Alright, so let's jump right into it. We're doing first hero. I'm going to need my other book. Put that here. Go this way. Okay, so we've got Origin. Let's see what the race of our first character will be. That's a 4. So a 4 is an Outlander. Human Outlander. That is basically a basic human from the original book. So now I gotta look that up and see what he does. So he can pick so the Duster can pick the new background, but the Outlander cannot. So the Outlander's got to pick a background from the original book. Let's go ahead and tilt the camera over a bit. Okay, that'll do. Alright, so let's go ahead and probably pick Frontier. So, Frontier background. And that will be capabilities first. D20. I'm not mistaken, it's the only D20 in this whole system. Might have been better to go with a D100. We've got a 1, which is an agility increase. That is +1 agility. Next up, mentality. That will be, we'll throw a white dice for that. A 6. +1 XP. Then we're moving on to possessions. Throw a gray die. It'll be an 18. It's an item. And let me see. I can get I'll take the silver leaf tree. Or the silver tree leaf for sure. Could get a ranger's cloak. But I don't think I'll take the silver tree leaf. Silver tree leaf. ×2. And last is training. Well, I did not spell that right at all. And we will throw. We've got a 20, just another +1 XP. That could possibly be my avatar. Alright, next hero. So we're on to second hero. Let's see. Let's try and, I'm not going to try to do anything, but hopefully we can get another, or one of the new races. Got a 48, which will be a Duskling. he will have... There aren't any Outlanders, they're just Dusklings. I think Dusklings are also native to here. Let me read it up. Yeah, so basically it says Dusklings have been around the dust long enough that they're essentially natives. But that means we need to use their background, which I believe is Outsider. Yeah. They must use the Outsider background. Capabilities. Throw the black. 16. Give us a toughness increase. Very nice. And on to mentality. Throw a white die for that. You got a 17. That will be +1 luck. And then possessions. Throw a gray dice for that. 12. Find basic weapon, and I think we'll just go with a standard. Yeah, find standard weapon. What was the roll? 12? Fine. Standard weapon. And then we've got finally training. Let me get a third dice color real quick. Just to make life a touch easier. Throw yellow for training. I got a 17, just a +1 XP. Okay, let's go on for our third hero. All right, one of the next two is going to be our Mystic. We've got 16. It's going to be a basic human again. Let's see, I'm pretty sure. Well, rolls are the rolls. You know what? There should have been another roll here. That first roll was for the human. The second roll is to determine whether he's an Outlander or a Duster, and I had missed that. So let's carry on with this third hero. We're going to go back, and we may have to change that. Let's see what this human turns out to be first. If he's an Outlander, then we'll roll that first and see if we can just kind of swap them. So he's a human, and then I'll have to roll another D100 to see what he is. So if it's a 35 or less, he's an Outlander. And we can keep the Frontier background and put that on him. We rolled a 78, so he is a Duster. He's going to be my Mystic, too. Okay, so he's a Duster. And then we'll have to come up with his background. So now, before I continue with him, we're going to go back here. And I hate doing this. What are we going to call that? It just looks sloppy. I don't like it. So if I can get lucky enough, I'll roll a 35 or less, and I can keep all of that. Otherwise, I have to re-roll the capabilities, mentality, all that stuff. I had gotten that silver leaf, and I don't want to lose it. So hopefully I get a 35 or lower. I got a 48. So he's actually going to be a duster. He's not going to be an outlander. Would I roll 48? Alright, let me see. He may select the new Wanderer background. He does not have to. So, Frontier background, that stays. Alright, great. And I don't think there's any rules against dusters. Yeah, they can do all the same stuff a human does. So this is going to be my Mystic. Mystic background. Alright, good. That wasn't too bad. I don't have to re-roll anything. And we've got... we got a pretty good little crew going here. Seems like almost all natives, if you think about it. 2 native human dusters and a duskling that most likely lived his whole life in the dust. So we're going to go ahead and go with capabilities. Let's go ahead and start with a white dice. We rolled a 6, which is a casting increase. Very good. Moving on to mentality. Throw a gray. A 1. +2 will. This might have to be my avatar. He'll have 3 will to start if I make him my avatar. Possessions. Let's throw a black dice. We got a 10, which is a mystic item, which we will choose congealed strands. We get 2 of them. Times 2. And last is training. We'll throw a yellow dice, which we've got a 9, which is 1 skill. Which is a D100. Throw a white. Nope, we gotta throw a D100. We've got a 22, which will give us devotion, some sort of shaman, perhaps. Alright, and our 4th hero. Hoping for one of those bug folk chitters. Alright, that'll be a 86 or better on this roll. See if we can get it. Give me a chitter. A 55. So 55 is a feral. And then we have to roll again because there's a native to the dusts feral. Let's throw the white percentile. Or 41 or better, and we get one of the new ferals. 36, so that's a older feral. 36, and that is just an outlander. I think ferals have to take the outlander. So he's the only one who's not from the dusts. And what does he have to take? He has to take the outside background. Interesting crew here. Don't know what I want to use to represent him. Maybe a knoll? Ooh, I just wrote that. I'm going to write it again. We have capabilities. We also get to roll the old friends one. So we'll get a 5th hero at the end of the stream. Capabilities equals D20. Alright, let's get rid of these dice. Okay, so the white for capabilities. We've got a 5. Oh, very good. Combats. There's a +1 in the combats. We go on to mentality. Throw a gray for mentality. We've got a 3, which is just a +1 XP. Moving on to possessions. That was my dog falling down. He's getting old. Possessions is a black dice. We rolled an 11. A quality weapon. And we're going to want at least... We start with 2. We're going to want at least 1 bastard sword for the duskling. Then we're going to have we have a fine sword as well. So I'm thinking maybe like a warhammer. I don't see that we really have many archers. Maybe that first hero can get a longbow. Let's go with a bastard sword. Bonus to wound is good, although breaking armor could be very handy as well. We'll go with the bastard sword and we'll figure out what the other ones will be later. It was possessions, and then the last is training. That'll be a yellow dice. That's an 18. Yeah, it's closest to an 18, which I think is probably just 1 XP. Yeah. 4 would have been a skill. That would have been nice. So 18 + 1 XP. Alright, so that is our 4 heroes we start with. And then we've got 2. Move on to the rest of the stuff. We get our 2 followers, which are just going to be basic human. Let me actually read that. Maybe they're dusters. I don't know. Followers recruited in the dust are assumed to be dusters. Yeah, so there's two followers. They're dusters. Very good. Now we move on to... Let's see here. Generated all those guys. We need to pick 2 spells for the Mystic and then generate 3. That is the next step. So let's pick 2. For this campaign, I ended up going with Meekness and Spellbreaker. Let's go ahead and do a quick perusal. This is something I would have done prior if I had the time. There we go. So what is he? So he's a Duster native. He's got the devotion skill, so we're thinking shamanistic. What's shamanistic? Heal. Could be shamanistic. Premonition, sort of a seer. Summon could be good. Alright, so I'm thinking heal and premonition. I don't know what they do, but they seem shamanistic to me. We gotta roll a d100 3 times. It'll give us the next 3. Hopefully I got 3 different colors of percentiles. Okay, we've got a 53, 83, 88. 53, 83, 88. Alright, 53 is infuse. I won't read them, I'll just write it down for now. 83 is Spellbreaker. Is there any restrictions on which ones I can pick? I see a lot of symbols here that I didn't actually look. No. Spellbreaker, and 88 is Summon, which I was also considering, so that worked out well. Okay, those are our Mystic spells. Next we need to determine Avatar history. I think is a D100. Okay. Let's see. Where would that be? Right here. So that is in fact a D100. Make the roll and then we'll read. This sometimes can add additional things. We've got a 9. A 9 is begin the campaign with plus 3 XP. Probably going to start with a level. Old War Tales. Yep, we're definitely going to start with a level, which is fun. So I'm thinking the Avatar is probably going to be that first human Duster. And I think I want him to be the Serpent Mage, so that'll be good. Little storyline to do is him going through that whole process. Alright, so next up, got Avatar. We need to do starting gold marks. I don't think there's a roll for that. I think you just get a set amount. Man resources. So you only start with 3. We're going to have 4 Silverleaf Oaths, so that's going to be good. Let's just start with 3. I don't think I got any. additional. So 3 gold marks. And then starting story points. Is that a roll? Does not appear to be a roll. You start with 3. Okay, that's easy enough. Next is starting warband equipment. Now we need to make choices. Okay, so we get a fine standard weapon, and we get some congealed strands, and we get a bastard sword. I believe that's all we get. I should get more than that. Skills, his possessions. So, oh, we get the additional silver tree leaf. Okay. So, we have 2 extra weapons. So normally I usually swap out for the Suda Heavy, but I don't think I will for these guys. I think I'll just keep it as is. And then one of our followers gets a light. Yeah. So we get 2 quality. One's going to be a longbow. So let's go ahead and write down bastard sword. I'm going to get a bastard sword. We are going to get a longbow. And then we will get a... I could do a war spear. What are the rules for a war spear? I think you get the counterattack ability. Spear seems to be deserty to me. Thinking like phalanx. Something like that. Let's see, what's a war spear do? Gets always has the counterattack. Well, let's look that up. See if it's worth it. Otherwise, we'll take a warhammer because it breaks armor pretty good. Weapon, common weapon traits is on page 60. So where's? Doesn't have it. Let's see. Figured it would be here. Alright. How does counterattack work? Is there an index? There is an index. Good. Okay, counterattack. Page 152 or 41. Let's try 41 first. Sometimes terrain, blah, blah, blah. A character with the counterattack may strike a hit if they win an exchange, even if they are the defender. That's actually pretty damn good. That is pretty good. Where were we? Over here. So yeah, I think I'll take the war spear. Okay, so that's our 2 quality weapons plus the one we rolled. Then we get basic weapons for the remainder. And I think if we don't have 2 ranged weapons, I think you get one of your followers gets one. But I can just do everything. 2 ranged, 1 follower may opt to take a self bow and light weapon instead. So we will just go ahead and take a self bow. And we'll remember we have 1 light weapon. We've got a fine standard weapon. Standard? Standard. And we'll have another standard weapon. There might be more than one of those. And then each follower may be armed with either a standard weapon or a staff. So we'll take a staff just to have one. Might give it to the mystic. And then I guess we take a second standard weapon as our other weapon. So standard weapon times 2 and a staff. And we also get a light weapon because we got the self bow. Do we get a light weapon if we take the longbow? I don't think so. A hero with a ranged weapon automatically receives a light weapon. So we'll have 2 light weapon times 2. Ugh, couldn't quite fit it on the... Alright, that's all the weaponry we get. And then we get 1 suit of light for the followers, and then all of the armor down. Oop, I just wrote on my book. Oh well, that's terrible. So then we also get all those. So we're going to end up with 2 suits of partial, 3 light, a helmet, and a shield. Oh, I won't write that right times. So we have partial armor times 2. Light armor times 3. We have a helmet and a shield. Alright, now we get the remainder of our gear, which is 2 doses of leaf. Yep, 2 doses, so it'll end up being 4 doses of leaf. Silver tree leaf times 4. And 2 congealed strands. Times 2. And that might be all of it. Anybody have anything else? Bastard sword. Fine weapon, strands. Silver leaf. Yep, so that'll do it for our equipment. Decent amount. Next up is, and then I'll write down the names of the warband members. So I'll give myself, looks like 2 spaces at least. Yeah. Give myself 2 spaces, a gap, and then campaign generation log. So this will differ now. And I'll write up or drop the map in response to what we roll here. I need to come up with a naming convention for this area anyways. So establish settlements is our first step. Actually, let's go quickly over this book to make sure there's separate rules. Yeah, there isn't any. Okay. Okay. So now we've got setting up the regions. First we've got to establish settlements, which is what I was about to do anyways. Establish settlements. So this is slightly, looks like the chart's a little different. Well, maybe it's the same. This is a D100 roll. You always get a town, and then it's what else you get, whatever else you get. 10 or less is only 2. Oh my god. 9. Okay, so we've got a village and a town. How did I write this before? 1 village, 1 town. Okay. Then town equals, and this is a D100 roll. We'll throw the gray. Town is a 41. Oh wait, there's adjustments to this. Let's see here. Oh, this roll is unmodified. You do not modify this roll. You did for the other one, but not for this one. Alright, so 41 is old rubble. Many communities are built among the ruins of an ancient civilization, uncovered from the sands. So the first time you arrive here, you will gain an adventure point. So I could just start, I would just say I could start the campaign with an adventure point. I think you have to do a travel roll at the beginning anyways. Alright, so anyways, write down the number I just rolled, which is a 41. And that is old rubble. It's a town built within the ruins of an ancient civilization. I like it. And then the village will be another D100 roll. Plus adventure points are nice. Alright, and the village will be a 37 old rubble. That's the roll, I guess. Okay, so there's 2 free adventure points. We can start in one of them and move to the other for our first turn, and get 2 adventure points to start off with. Alright, next up is determine threat. Threat levels. Nope. Determine threats. That will equal. Let's see. So, you have the dust rises. Well, yeah, the dust rises. Well, that's threat level. So for this we need to roll, let's see. Let's read it here. Assign a threat level of 5 to the other 2 threats selected. Choose or randomly select one additional threat from each foes within and foes without. So we got to do a foes within and a foes without. Foe within. I believe that's a D100. Let's find it. Preparation. Page 81. No, it's not page 81. Where is that? Let's see if we can find that quickly. I don't think we can find it quickly. Okay, where's the determined threats? Spellcasting, blah, 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 blah. The campaign. Here we go. Determined threats 71. Okay. So the foe, it's a D100 table. So the foe within will be 77. Let's see, there's a rule. The Ice Heart Court has no presence in the dust and cannot be selected. So it can't be the Ice Heart Court. So we're going to go ahead and re-roll that. There are no Fae in the dust. Try again. And a 5 will give us the Ruin Within. And the Foe Without. On Whispers from Beyond. That's my favorite. Oh, we already missed that one. Can't get it. I should have just chosen. Alright. Oldest Kin would be pretty good. Let's go with white dice for this one. White dice. There's a 16 Duskling Warbands. Okay. And then, of course, we have to do the Dust Rises. Alright, next step. Determine the levels. They are set. So, determine threat level. That will be Dust. Oops. Dust is a 7. Dusk is a 5. And Ruin is a 5. Okay. Next thing we gotta do, we have starting areas and locations. Okay, so for this, there is a different thing we got to do here. So we get 1 unexplored location, 2 enemy camps, so there's only going to be an enemy camp for either the Ruin or the Dusklings. There's going to be 2 delves. There's going to be 3 hideouts. And that's it. If you were using a brand new warband rather than carrying one over from an existing campaign, add +3 story points. So you start with 6 story points for this campaign. I wonder why I get the bonuses. It might be naturally harder, perhaps. But you do start with an additional +3. First time you arrive at a settlement after traveling, you will be given a quest immediately. Okay. So, first time you travel, you get a quest. So I gotta keep that in mind. Alright, so let's read this here. Your warband begins a campaign at any location of your choice, having just arrived from wherever they originated. You will begin the first campaign turn using the normal turn sequences, including events and campaign actions. So that means there's no travel roll. I just start at a location of my choice. Okay, so that's what we'll do then. So I don't have to write down, because there's no more rolls here. So it's 2 hidden delves, 2 enemy camps. One of the threats will not have an enemy camp, and it says random. Let me read this, because I don't know if I fully understand this here. So, place additional... This is the whole. Now let's bring it up. let's throw it up here. So, this is step 6, place additional points of interest on the map. When populating the initial game map, the process varies slightly from the core rulebook. Place one unexplored location as normal. There will be 2 enemy camps. Here's what I'm not understanding. One must be for the Dust Rises. Okay, so one of these 2 enemy camps that you start with is from the Dust Rises. The other will be for a randomly generated threat. Now, does that mean I pick either of the 2 randomly generated threats that I already generated? Does that mean I randomly determine one of those 2? Or does that mean I now randomly generate another threat? I wouldn't think that would be it, because it would have been that for determined threats. I don't think you just create another threat. It doesn't give you a threat level, so that's not it. So it's either I pick or I randomly determine between the 2. So it must be I pick. So there can be 2 camps, and I may pick which the other camp is. All right, there we go. Just talk myself through it. Each threat receives 1 hideout exactly as per core rulebook. So there'll be 3 hideouts. There just won't be a camp for one of the threats. Probably I'm going to say the Dusklings will not have a camp. The Ruin Within will have a camp. Okay. That's it. I don't think there's anything else. I just determined where I'm starting. Yeah, pretty sure that's it. So, starting areas and locations, I'll write that down after, because there's no more dice rolling there. Alright, let's flip this page here. So, this page is for my warband. So then, this page, right here, is for my campaign log. This is going to be campaign number 2, because I've already got one going. Campaign number 2 log. And campaign turn 1. And we will, warband starts in. And we might start in that unexplored location, because we get one of those. And I think if we start there, we just get to explore it. If I'm not mistaken. Let me check it. Let me check the rule book here. Let's find the rules for unexplored locations. Yeah, we'll use this one. I keep forgetting now I got that second book behind it here. So, let's see here. Alright, unexplored locations. There is not anything in the index for that. Okie dokie. So, let's, I guess, go to preparation. This must talk about it somewhere. No. Starting the campaign. Let's go to 60. Yep, this next page here. These are places of interest that you have been told about but not investigated. They remain mysterious until you choose to travel to them. The campaign can generate quite a few of these. You'll find you're getting overwhelmed. Blah, blah, blah. You can cap it at 4 if you want. Okay. So that doesn't explain if we're there, we get to explore it. Probably under the adventures. Here we go. At various points in the game, you will blah 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 blah. You create unexplored locations. Got it. The text specifies it's near a known location. Add it to the same map area. Otherwise, place it in its own map area out in the wilderness. So this will be placed out in the wilderness. When reaching the location, roll on the following table to determine what you find. Okay. So we're going to start there, because then we're going to basically know exactly what we find at the unexplored location. So we get to essentially explore it. What do I do about this Fey wood? Now there's a question I may ask the author. I guess I can change that from the ice court threat table. It might be addressed in the book. I don't know that for sure. But I would just probably swap the ice court for ice heart court for either a random one or the dust rises one. Let's just hope I don't roll that, so I don't have to determine that now. So we need to name this unexplored location. Because I need to write it down for that. Actually, I can just give it... Starts in... Let me read how I wrote it down here. So, let's give it quick parentheses. Give myself... It's probably going to be a word and then a descriptor. So probably about that much space. And we put parentheses, and we've got dust 7, dusk 5, ruin 5. Okay. Unexplored location. It'll be a D100. Before I get too far into this campaign turn, I'm going to take a short break. As I said before, this is my last evening that I may partake of tobacco products. So I'd like to go partake of one. We've got a 10. Old ruin. Makes sense. Add a delve to your map. Fantastic. Resolve a travel encounter and add a delve to your map. That's pretty good. So let's go to a travel encounter, which is page 114. Okay. Put it on there. I don't really have to do that, but I'll put it up there. So, travel encounter. Now there's some rule for delves in this area. It's every even or odd numbered delve. Let me look that up real quick. Is a special temple, they say. I like how this is heavy on the delves. I do enjoy the delves. In theory. I think I've only done one delve. I don't think I've done any delves in this other campaign I was running. Alright, we need to get to the new book. Here we go. Let me look that up briefly. As briefly as I can for a book I'm not familiar with. Where is that found? Here we go. Not the Serpentine Quest. Hold on, let me look this up real quick. So I gotta go to each town and give 3 gold marks to do the Serpentine Quest, which I'm gonna probably do that immediately. Okay, so I add a delve for that. That doesn't affect it. Okay. Camp events. Where did I read that? I read that somewhere. I don't remember where I read that. Every odd number delve or something along those lines will give you a temple. It must have been in campaign preparation. Let me read that. Okay, here we go. Quests in the dust. Trade items, camp events, desert scouts, character creation. Then there's some lore. Temples of the Old World, page 42. There it is. So, we're generating a delve in a minute. We need to know what the rule is. Here we go. Campaign, keep track of the number of delves you encounter. So we haven't encountered those two hidden ones yet. Because it's every even numbered delve is a temple site. This is not a temple site. The next delve I encounter is a temple site. I'll have to remember that. I doubt I will. So let's do the travel encounter. That is 1d100. And I can determine all my skill bonuses and what have you if I need to. For now, I think you just roll a d100. Okay, just roll a d100. That's white, which is a 62. 62 is a traveler. Okay. What does the asterisk mean? Where does it tell you? Okay. Counters marked with an asterisk are general meetings, while those without are unique. This is just a general meeting. So we got a traveler. Then we need to determine interaction. Oh, I did not spell that right. Interaction. Oh, maybe I did. I did. Interaction equals, that's another D100. That will be in black. Black. 73. Friendly. Good. Alright. That's it. You just add him as a friend. Unfriendly, sociable, and special role, but friendly is just you add a friend. Friendly. And that's it. Add so-and-so as a friend. Okay, so we have so-and-so as a friend. It's a traveler of some sort named so-and-so. He will be our friend. Okay, so that's that. Now I add a delve. Add a delve to whatever this map area is called. Give it a little more space. Add a delve to whatever. So we're at this map area, whatever we're going to name it. There's a delve here, so I can explore that delve if I choose to do so. Alright. So that's it for that. Now I go into the normal stuff. So there's no town or anything, so I got to use camping events. So for campaign, it's called local event. Local event. Actually, I'll write it as camp event. Let's see. It's a new table I get to use, which is good. So we didn't travel anywhere, but I do need to do an event. So new camp events. So we just use this. So camp event. That is a D100 equals. Alright, so we get to roll some new events. We're going to throw the white dice for this one. We rolled a 28. A 28 is damaged equipment while working with your gear. An item broke. Select a random warband member. A random item they are carrying or wearing becomes damaged. Okay, so damaged equipment. Luckily, I have all of the items written out. Not divvied out to a character, but it's going to essentially... No, it won't essentially be the same thing. So now I have to divvy out the items to the characters to make this work properly. Okay, so we're going to do this on a piece of scrap paper so I don't mess up my nice notebook. This is where we're going to take the break. We'll do this first. Take my quick break and we'll come back and we'll determine which item was damaged. So, be right back. Okay, I'm back. Alright. I never got that scrap paper. Fool. Okay, so my avatar is gonna be that first guy. So that is Hero 1. Or we'll just abbreviate. I don't need to write it out for this. So first hero will be Frontier background, Human Duster. Human Dust with the front background. Second hero that I'll write will be the Mystic Mystic. Third hero will be the Duskling. This is the Duskling. And the fourth hero will be the Feral. Feral. Alright, and then our fifth character will be the guy with the bow. He's going to have the bow. Actually, yes, he'll have a bow. And the sixth follower will be the other one. Sword. Alright, so we've got 1, 2, I didn't need to write these numbers down. They're right there already. So there it is. So before I do that, let's equip these 6 characters with our equipment. So the main hero will have, he'll have the fine sword, or fine standard weapon. We'll just call it a sword for now. He'll have the fine sword, he'll have P armor. He'll have the shield. What else do I have for equipment? That's what he has. Do I want to give him the longbow? Can I give him the longbow? Go to the equipment section quickly because I forget what that means. I think if I give him the longbow, he can't have the shield. I think that's how that works. My wood stove is burnt out. It's getting cold in here. Okay, encumbrance limit. 2 weapons of any type, plus either a shield or a third light weapon. Okay. Bulky. Character cannot use a shield. So, bulky weapons prevent shield use. So, let's give I think that's it. I'm just going to give him partial armor, shield, and sword. I really need the staff. How do I want to run this? Alright, I think what I'll do is give him the B sword, the partial armor, and the longbow. Because that gives me a lot of opportunities for cool miniatures to pick. Because there's lots of sword-wielding miniatures with bows on their back. Yes. The Duskling will have the fine sword. Also partial armor. And shield. And probably helmet. Oops. The Mystic will have the... Yeah, alright, so the Mystic will have the staff. And the light armor. I was going to give the War Spear to the Feral. And he will have light armor. We'll give the 5th follower a S-bow. Light armor. Light weapon. We will give the 6th follower a S weapon, which is a standard weapon. I should have just said sword. He'll have no armor. He'll have nothing else. He'll just have a sword. We can give him a 3rd weapon. right? 2 weapons of any type plus either a shield or a light weapon. So he can actually also have a light weapon. So he will. Okay. That gives us all of the armor has been accounted for. The shield and the helmet have been accounted for. All of the quality weapons are accounted for. And that fine sword is accounted for. Yes. So then I get 2 standard weapons, which I only have 1 here. So we'll give a second. Actually, can you have is a self bow bulky? It is. I can actually give a standard weapon to the self bow guy. Standard whip. Because he can have 3 weapons too, as long as one of them's light. Okay, so that works there as well. So that's all my standard weapons. That's my staff. That's all my light weapons. That's all my partial light, helmet, shield. That's it. So that's all the equipment. Okay, there you go. That's how I'm going to divvy out the equipment. Now I can roll. So we've got 6 characters. We're going to throw a die to see which character gets the damaged equipment. Character number 4 will be the feral. Hopefully it's his armor. So 1 through 3 will be that war spear, because that's written first. 1 through 3 is the war spear. It's a 2, so it's the war spear. Wonderful. Well, I got backup weaponry, so if I can't fix it, you can take something else. Damaged equipment equals war spear. That was the weapon I was most excited about using. So goes the game. It's not an easy game. Could use a story point, but I'm not gonna. Not this early. I need all of them. Okay. So that's our camp event. So we got a damaged weapon. Okay. Alright, moving on to the next part. So now we do upkeep and then healing. So upkeep will be... Let's see. Gotta get to the actual page here. Okay. Upkeep, upkeep, upkeep. Here we go. We have a D6. We have 6 warband size, so we get a D3. That's how many gold marks it will cost us for upkeep. It will cost us 2. It'll be minus 2 gold marks. We've got 1 gold mark left. Okay. Healing is not available. Nobody needs to heal. Then we go on to campaign activities. Yes. Okay, and it looks like I choose... Nope, I don't need to choose a character first. Alright, so we're going to use campaign activities for camping. So we can do... There's some cool stuff on the hunting table. And some different stuff now for foraging herbs. Yep, so there's different herbs to forage. Let's let's see what our campaign activities are. So we can't fix our item at the blacksmith, so we're out of luck for the war spear. We will not get to use it this campaign turn. So we can't gamble. Forage for herbs. That's weird that says it's settlement only. So there's this hunting expedition. We're not going to do that one. Moving off the land, prey, recruit, mystic expedition. Can find a congealed strand. That could be handy. Scout. We're probably going to scout. Training. Oh, wait a minute. I never did the leveling up my hero. I need to level up my hero. Let's do that after campaign activities. It'll be an addendum. Any other my heroes close to leveling? So the avatar will have 5 experience total, but nobody else is close. They have 1 or 2. So I think what we're going to do is hunt, because it's cool. Yeah, we're going to do a hunting expedition, and we're going to do a mystic expedition. Now, I guess it would be important if my character ends up getting wilderness. Yeah, so all right, well, we'll add the addendum, I guess, because I messed up. We'll put it under here. Looks like I need about 5 lines. So we'll give myself 6 lines, space, and then addendum. Avatar, level up. Rolls. Equals. Alright. Let's level up that avatar. Here we go. Hero advancement. Okay. They qualify for advancement roll. So we get 1 advancement roll at 4 experience points. Non-mystic hero. Right here. Yes. So non-mystic hero. So that's a D100 roll. When do you ever get a skill? Oh, if I roll low. Alright, so that's 1D100. Alright, let's see what my hero gets for a leveling of ups. He gets a 60, which is nice combat increase. +1 combat. I think that's just straight up +1 combat, right? Yes. +1 combat. Fantastic. Good roll. Okay. So it's not a skill, so I don't need to worry about that. So now I can do campaign activities. So we're going to do those ones we already said. We're going to go for a hunting expedition. Don't want to spell expedition wrong. Expedition. Alright, and our character with the highest wilderness is going to be probably just one of the one of the humans, because they both should have +1 to their wilderness roll instead of +1 speech. Nobody else got a skill. Nobody else got wilderness skill. I don't think anybody get. I have devotion skill, and that's it. That's all I rolled. So, one of the humans has wilderness skill. Let's see. Who does it? Who does have it? Yeah, either of the humans. So, it can be my avatar. Hunting expedition equals, and that's 2d6 equals. And I'm looking for. I get +1 to this roll, but I'll write that after. I'm looking for a 9. I believe I'm looking for a 9. Yep. So I get a 9. I can spend a gold mark to get a guide, but I don't think I want to do that. So I'm looking to roll a 9. So I get +1. I'm looking to roll an 8 or better. I rolled an 11. That's going to be a success. So it's 11 + 1 equals success. We then roll 1d6. I'm going to roll that in black. We rolled a 2, which is you obtain animal pelts worth a d3 + 1 gold marks. Animal pelts. Very nice. Hunting expedition was successful. And that is a d3 + 1. 1d3 equals 2 + 1 + 3 gold marks. Now, do I have to trade those? I think they're just worth the gold. I think I can just add the gold marks. I don't think I need to sell them. They just are. Barter and all. Ooh, lights flickering. Don't go out. Good. So that was that, and then we're going to do a mystic expedition. Don't go out. Technical difficulties. And that'll be 2d6 as well. This is an alchemy skill. Nobody has alchemy, so I am looking for an 8 or better. If I get a 12, I get 2. 8 or better. We rolled an 8. Very nice. Success. That will give us... that's so annoying. +1 congealed strands. Oh man, that is annoying. Let me go whack this lamp. And get it to stop flickering. Nah, it's not gonna stop. It's not that dark. It's a little darker, but it's not too bad. My desk lamp here. It's going to cast a weird shadow. Yep. That's better. Alright, well, it's bright enough. Congealed Strand, Mystic Expedition. That ends my campaign activities. So trade. Right? Is that the next step? Yeah, let's just look at it in the actual book itself. Okay. So we did campaign activities. Yep, trade. We're not in a settlement, so trade is NA. Then research. We can roll for connections. Can do an adventure milestone. We don't have any adventure points, actually. So... yeah, so all we can do is roll for connections. It's kind of weird you do that at camp, but... how did I write that here? Connections. Apparently we're in contact with people way out here, wherever out here is. I assume I'm in the wastes somewhere, far away from civilization. So that's a D100 roll. 40 or lower is nothing. We rolled a 77. That is something. 77. You may take the offer of a contract. Contract. Equals. What page? Page 100. So, contract will be that. Then, source. That is not how you spell source. Source is... oops, let's see here. 13 individual. If we complete this, we get a villager friend. Source and then type. I don't know who tracked us out way out here to tell us about whatever we're about to try and do, but... alright. 89. Explore area. And what does that... what does that require? Add an unexplored location to the wilderness. Then randomly select any existing map area that you are not currently in. Travel to determine... so we get a new location in the wilderness. And then I need to select... randomly select any existing map area that you are not currently in. Travel to determine what is that the new. Then travel to any location in the randomly selected map area, and finally return to the location where you received the contract. Ho! 5 campaign turns. Okay, so I have to travel to the unexplored location, then I have to travel to the randomly determined area. Then I gotta travel right back to this delve. Or this area of the delve. Alright, so... index card usage number 2. So for areas that exist on the map as of right now... our current map areas are... We have the town. We have the village. We have the delve that we're at right now. Those are 3 of them. Let's see what else is there. Okay. We have Dust Camp. We'll have an area. And Ruin Camp. We'll have an area. Those are two different areas. Then there's 2 hidden delves. And the hideouts are also hidden. Okay, so we're currently at the delve, so that's struck off. We got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Gotta get a D4. Of course, I picked the one that has the numbers at the bottom. Let's clear the thing. So, we rolled. Looks like a 1. Let's go ahead and move that. Where is it? Right there. Yep, that's a 1. So that's the town. So it goes. So what the unexplored location goes in the wilderness. So where is it say? Okay, here. Random area. Area equals whatever area with the town is. So right now I'll just write town. And then replace that with whatever the name of that area is. Because we can go anywhere in that area. Right now there's only a town. Okie dokie. And that's what, 5 campaign turns? Yeah, that's 5 campaign turns. Forget how the clock works on that. I'll look it up later. Okay, so now we've done trading. We've done connections. Decide adventure. We're going to delve. That's what we're going to do. Battle an enemy threat. Ride patrol. Carry out contract. Rest up quest. Battle enemy threat. Which one's the delve? Encounter location. Delve requires multiple battles to fully explore. Each time you visit a delve, set up. So it's just a site battle. Uses the lurking foe's enemy table to determine your foe. Delve completion. Each time you complete a depth, roll a d6. I think you can only do 1 depth a round, if I'm not mistaken. Progressing in a delve. You always begin at delve depth 1. When you complete the objective, you have finished the depth. You cannot explore a previously cleared depth a second time, but you may return to a new depth of the delve. Same delve. You cannot undertake 2 depths in the same campaign turn. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna. So that's encounter a location as our adventuring stage. Decide your adventure. Encounter explore location. Yep. So. Okay. So. Decide adventure. Equals explore location. That location will be here. Explore location. And we'll put parentheses because I don't have a damn name for it. I'll just write delve. Alright. That is it for that. Next thing I have to write. Side adventure. Carry out a contract. Battle encounter. Number. Ship. Okay, so then I just go to the battle encounter. So it is for adventure outfit. We got everything on our person. We don't need to stash anything. We're not trading. All right, so it is a delve. Otherwise, you will use, unless the events that placed the delve on the map states otherwise, you will use the lurking foes enemy table. Okay. So we're going to have to determine the foe at some point, but right now we're basically just setting up a sight battle. Alright, so how did I write this? Battle encounter. Equals sight battle. And then in parentheses I'll write delve, if it matters. Might not matter. Okay, so next we go to not contracts, not quests. Oh, I think we were supposed to get a quest. We were supposed to get a quest when we made our first. Well, we haven't traveled yet, actually, so we don't get a quest until we travel. Cup stage. Encounter. Battle encounter. Here we go. Step 1. Determine foe. Now, does it specify delves? Does not. Battle. Determine foe. That's a D100. That will equal. Alright, so this is on the lurking foes list. I'll roll first and then look up the list. We rolled a 63. That will equal, I think it was a 41, was it? No, 61? No, it's somewhere in here. It's at the end, I think. Oldest kin, no. 71? What number was it? It was, nope, that's Curse of War. Faceless 81. Roadside encounters, no. Lurking foes table. Okay, so we rolled a 63. Cave runners, large and dangerous beasts, clad in thick molted hides and rushing to the attack. These guys are brutal. Toughness, armor. Wow, not the most pleasant things. I don't even know. I can basically come up with anything for that. So, cave runner. Cave runners. Not sure what that's supposed to be, but it doesn't look pleasant. Okay. We're gonna get our butts kicked. I can already tell you. We're definitely getting our butts kicked. Cool. Contracts, no quests, no quest. Travel encounter. Let's see here. Alright, battle encounters. Step 2, terrain and setup. I don't need to use the optional terrain rule because it's a dungeon. Yeah, nothing rolled there. Well, I don't actually think it's going to be a dungeon setup. It's going to be a ruin. You don't need a terrain because it's going to be a ruin. Are all delves dungeons? Let me look that up real quick. I don't think so. I didn't say all delves were dungeons. Let me check that. go to site battle? Maybe all site battles are dungeons. Site battles. So new mechanics that I found in regular encounters. Of course to do. Doesn't say. Exploration markers. Okay. Okay, so doesn't specify whether it's a dungeon or not, so that doesn't matter. So yeah, I can roll for the random terrain feature because it's not going to be in a dungeon per se. It's going to be determine the foe, determine the enemy. Actually, that's the next step anyways, is determine the enemy. Numbers. Okay, that is 1d6 times 2. We pick the highest. Two d6, pick the highest. Oh, 2 and a 3. Oh, man. 2 and a 3, which will be the 3. And the number from the list was 3 additional cave runners. It's not a defensive, it's not a raid, and it's not a hideout. We're not playing with 6. Okay, so that's it. It's just going to be 6. Okay. Enemy armament. I don't think they're armed with anything. Let's see, cave runners. Yeah, it doesn't seem like they're armed with anything. They're brave and crawling. Don't need to do that. Enemy's presence is always additional. Okay, so they could be an elite cave runner. Determine enemy leadership. That appears to be a D100 roll. We'll throw that in. It was black. Throw that in black. We rolled a 62, which appears to be a captain. 62. Captain. I think that's in addition to. Always in addition. So there's a captain cave runner and 2 cave runners. What's the captain give him? Oh, fucking man. So it's got +1 combat skill, +1 toughness, and +1 armor. And it has the parry, tough, regeneration, and counterattack. Ooh-wee. That's not fun. Okay. Wonderful. That thing, we're going to have to shoot that with arrows. If we can. Alright. So moving on from enemy leadership. We don't have any unique foes. Okay. No unique foes. So here's where we set up terrain theme. D100. It was an 85. Overgrown ruins. Makes sense. Kind of what it was going to be anyways. Scatter, determine battlefield edge. Let me look at... I don't need to determine battlefield edge. So let me go to site battle and see what rolls I need to make here. Site battle, okay, deploy anywhere along one battlefield edge. Doesn't matter. Command number for a delve, the depth may add a modifier. Okay, so it is a delve, but it's depth 1. Where did I see that? Here. So there's no modifiers of any kind. So we're going to place 6 exploration markers. And they're going to be scattered, are they? So nothing I need to do. So we get a first move. Okay, so there is a first move roll. Alright, so let's read this real quick. One of the warband members should be selected to scout ahead before regular gameplay begins. Select a warband member, move them a single normal move, then roll a d100 and consult. Any foes added through this roll are unaware and act as sentries. Okay, so I need to do this roll to see if there's any additional enemies ahead of time. So this is my first move roll for my site battle. Rolled a 40. Undiscovered depths. And that is... We're just going to place 3 more exploration markers. Okay. Good. Then they deploy the enemy in that fashion. We do that. Then you fight your battle. So then the battle will begin. Let me see battle log, because that means I'm going to fight a battle. So, right here, we're going to use Star of the Story. And maybe more than one. This will be the last rolling I have to do, and then I can end this ridiculously long. How long has this been? 2.5 hours? Okay. So, Star of the Story, where are ye? It's almost 2 o'clock, Jesus. Where are the stars of the story? Okay, here we go. Nope, that's not it. Somewhere early? Structure. Hopefully I didn't miss any rolls. Alright, index. Stars of the Story, page 11. Here they are. Got Valor, Lucky Break, Old Friends. Never tell you how I learned this. Okay, so I need to keep that one in mind. Did I ever tell you how I learned this? That just gives me an automatic skill. Alright, see battle log. And it's about, what about old friends? What about old friends? Add so-and-so to Warband roster. So-and-so equals 1d100. Alright. So as I've explained several times, when you use this, you roll up a character with a background. It's not just a basic Jamoke. So, let's go to the origin table. Alright, first roll, he will be human. Another human. What did I roll? 13. Human. Now let's see if he's a duster or not. And I rolled a 68. He's a duster. So we can use that new table we didn't get to use. Duster. You will have the Wanderer background. Didn't get a Chitterer. Got a Dustling and a Feral, that's it. Alright, Wanderer. So we've got capabilities. That is a d20 roll. Thrown white. We got a 6. A 6 is a combat skill. Beautiful. +1 combat. That is a good roll. Then we've got mentality. Throw gray. 18. +1 XP. 19 or 20 would have been good. Possessions. Now we would very much like a weapon because it doesn't say that they come with any kind of gear. It just says they show up. So a 4 through a 15 will give us a weapon. Could very much use a 4 through a 15. That's an 18. That's an item. We get to pick the item. I think we get the Ranger's Cloak. We haven't gotten a Ranger's Cloak yet. Item. Silverleaf. Tonic. Give him bandages. Torches? I give him torches. What do torches do exactly? Let's see what torches do. They're handy for sight battles. During a battle, warband member who is not using a shield or bulky weapon may carry a torch. This creates visibility within 6 inches, allowing shots to be taken at illuminated figures despite visibility limitations. Done and done. How many torches do you get? Is it just torches or is it a number? You get 3 torches. They're single use and they're go in the backpack. Okay, so that is torches times 3. Quite handy. Then the final one will be training. Equals. So if he doesn't get anything, he's gonna have a light weapon. Unless there's an action that can give him a weapon. I don't know, we'll see. Training equals 1d20. We'll throw the yellow dice for training. We've got, oh, that's pretty well, no, it's not cocked, it's a 9. It's hard to see on the camera, but it is a 9. Kind of looks like an 11 on the camera here. If I turn this like so, it makes it clearly a 9. Nine is 1 skill. Another D100 roll. 40. 40 is, let's see here. Leadership. All right, +2. Now, I'm going to briefly look at when you add a character, just to see if he gets anything. So when you add a follower, new recruits, if nothing is listed, they will come with a light weapon and no other items. Alright, so I would assume he would come with a light weapon. +1 light weapon. So he's going to have a light weapon and some torches. No armor, no nothing else. And he's got +1 combat skill, which is nice. He's a wanderer. Okay, good. So there it is. I may begin the sight battle against 7 insane crawling furry beasts that are probably going to kill me. But that's all the rolling done. Alright, so we'll see. This. And you see all the printer ink on my hands. I hadn't noticed that before. This has got my interest. So this game may come before the 5 parsecs game. I'll just wait and see what my inspiration says. I do want to make a desert board. I have to make a desert board for the 5 parsecs game, so that'll work well. But alright, well that's enough of that. Thanks for anybody who showed up. I don't know if anybody did, but if you did, thank you. And hopefully I'll be back in 4 or 5 days or so to do a hobby update on either 5 parsecs or 5 leagues, either one, or both. And then, if I can, I'd like to get the battle filmed maybe the day after Christmas. So it'll be streamed. Hopefully I'll have everything done by then. So we will see you around.